Why this program eliminates constipation. This unique program of healing your bowel and body eliminates constipation in a way that crutches, whether it's diets, supplements, drugs, laxatives, exercise, acupuncture, chiropractic, etc., cannot do. The cause of constipation is not properly formed stools. The cause of constipation is excess acids in the bowel. Your bowel is contracting every single morning. It's squeezing. Unless you're incredibly ill or unless you're taking drugs, but more on that later. But every morning, your gut squeezes a little bit, but just a little bit. When all the acidity in your bowel has been formed into a stool, that squeezing finds the stool that's there and squeezes it out. It finds this nice well-formed stool, a stool that's not too hard, not too small, and it also finds it every day so that you go every day with a well-formed stool. Physiologically, that's what happens when you have daily well-formed stools. When you have constipation, what's happening is the stool is too small. What makes it too small is there's some acids that didn't get formed into that stool. There's unformed acids, so the stool is too small. The gut squeezes a little bit. That small stool it cannot find to squeeze out. That small stool, when it eventually comes out as a small stool. It usually comes out as a hard stool because it's been sitting around in there. Some of the water that's normally contained in the stool is being reabsorbed in your body, so you have this smaller, harder stool. Constipation, by the way, of course, can refer both to infrequent elimination as well as to elimination that is daily, but small, hard stools that are hard to go. In both cases, this program helps you soak up, bind up those acids so that you have a nice well-formed stool, prevents the small hard ones and prevents the infrequent ones. I am always saying that it is better to go infrequently than to go every day without well-formed stools. So I'm going to repeat it again, but I also want to emphasize, because this comes up a lot, that when you heal your bowel and body with this program, while constipation is better than diarrhea, hands down, you are much healthier, you're eliminating more fat, disease, weight-causing, symptom-causing, addiction-causing acids when you go infrequently than when you go every day without well-formed stools. When you heal your bowel and body with this program, you will not go too infrequently. You might at most miss one day you don't go, but you're not going to have days and days where you don't go. I'll explain later what causes that. That is not something that occurs when you do this program, however. Good form equals good frequency. Just remember that. Good form is created by binding up, soaking up all those acids in your bowel. Now, when you heal your bowel and body with this program, you are eliminating acids. So in other words, one of the things that can cause poorly formed stools is just an overabundance of acidity. There's just too much in there. It's overwhelming your body, and your body isn't capable of binding it all up. So in other words, as you keep healing your bowel and body with this program, eventually you get to a point where you have less acidity in your body dumping into your bowel. You have less acids there in the first place that can cause those poor formed stools and that constipation. Your gut bacteria is one of the jobs of your gut bacteria, which are healing with this program, is to create a well-formed stool, to soak up that acidity and create a stool. Because again, well-formed stools are easy to pass and they come out of you every single day. While you're healing your bowel and body with this program, Body Bentonite is the most remarkable, most effective, most wonderful crutch for soaking up those acids and creating a well-formed stool for you. When you're super healthy at the end of this, you won't need Bentonite to have daily well-formed stools. But until you reach that point, and it will take some time to get there, your use of Bentonite every day or the days you use it, you're going to have better stools. And in fact, if you're taking Bentonite and you're still constipated, do the exact opposite of what your intuition might be, which is to reduce it. No way. You actually want to increase that Bentonite. You want to increase it if you have constipation. I know that's scary, but it works. You want to increase it by quite a bit, usually maybe doubling up the amount that you're on. Usually it takes at least that to see that positive change. You can also use magnesium citrate as a laxative if needed. If you have a problem with hemorrhoids or even just mental, emotional fear about constipation, and that's been driven into the heads of many of you, unfortunately, So please don't do that to your kids. If you have kids and they can't go, it's not all up in their head. Heal their bowel and body, but don't make them feel bad about not going. Don't pressure them to go. It's not their fault. It's not a psycho, emotional problem. It's a physical problem. But going onwards, if you've got fear or discomfort, and let me say, the little problem with this program is that if your bowel and body were healthy, you wouldn't have hemorrhoids, and then you could use bentonite, and if your stools did get too large and hard, it wouldn't cause hemorrhoids and cause a problem, meaning hemorrhoids are not caused by large stools. They might be triggered by large stools, but it's not the cause. You have to also have an unhealthy colon to get hemorrhoids. And so we are healing or creating well-formed stools in this program faster than we're healing your bowel. So you may end up with these larger, well-formed stools before your gut is strong enough to be able to deal with that comfortably. If that's you, get some magnesium citrate, try maybe 1,000 milligrams, adjust it up or down as needed, more if things are still uncomfortable, or take less if all of a sudden you go too often. But it's a great crutch, laxative crutch. There are many misunderstandings about constipation. There are many of those addressed in my first book, Unique Healing. You are going to find more here in Unique Healing 2 out of May of 2012. And of course, the first one I want to say is that laxatives do not heal. So when you take magnesium citrate or senna, cascara, aloe, you name it, psyllium, there's tons of them on the market. Those make you go more often. But going more often does not get more acids out of you. I'm going to come back to number 2 where it says formed acids are not reabsorbed. So those laxatives don't create more formed stools. It doesn't do anything to form up more acids. And in fact, if you have formed acids in your gut, they're not reabsorbed. So if you don't go one day, don't worry. Forcing yourself to go might help you physically or mentally, but it's not doing anything to make you healthier, and there's not a single ounce of additional acidity being eliminated from your body by using that laxative. But you don't need to worry if you don't go every day. But laxatives do not heal, so there's nothing productively healing about taking them. They are added to almost every single colon health product in the world because it's very easy to put a laxative in a supplement and make you go more often, and you guys gobble up and purchase millions, if not billions of dollars of these products, being led to think that that product is helping to get acids out of your body. Unfortunately, that is so not true, but it sells products. My products do not contain laxatives, period. I will not go down that road. So again, if you have formed acids in your body and you don't go every day, try not to worry about that. I know that's easier said than done. When I was incredibly ill many years ago, I ended up in the emergency room once with an impacted colon. And all I can say is that at the time I had an impacted colon, I was not taking any bentonite. I wish I had been, because knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have ended up in that emergency room with an impacted colon. There are, again, other things that can cause constipation besides those unformed acids. So to go every day, you have to have the acids formed into stool and the gut has to squeeze. There are some things that stop the squeezing of your gut. There are medications, especially muscle relaxants, that the gut needs to have this tension to squeeze, and the muscle relaxant can relax it or prevent it from making that squeezing motion. So especially if you've had surgery or just put on any type of painkillers, those can cause constipation. You don't really have to worry about it, but if it causes discomfort, by all means use magnesium citrate. Anyway, by using bentonite and getting your bowels better formed, you don't need the gut to squeeze quite as much to go. So the better formed the stool is, the less that squeezing action has to occur to go. So even with this process, my clients find that even when they take drugs and travel and do things that before would make them constipated, there's much less of that. Again, traveling can cause a problem because the squeezing of your gut is something that works on a circadian rhythm. It's kind of a clock thing, and when we travel, our clock gets all messed up a lot of times. We go to bed at different times. There's time changes and food changes and sleeping changes and eating changes that can temporarily interfere with the clock that regulates when that gut squeezes. High protein diets can cause constipation because occasionally, and sometimes, I find that people are constipated, and this was even true of my case many years ago when I was put on a high protein diet, because in order to go every day, you have to have the acids in the gut soaked up into a stool, but you also have to have acids in your gut. So in other words, the trash man comes along and there's no trash in the trash can, there's nothing to get rid of. High protein diets tend to shove all the acids or trash into your organs, which can mean there's not enough there or any present in your bowel to eliminate when it's time to go. So you get squeezing looking for a stool, and it's not even so much you didn't form up the acids, it's just that, whoops, where are the acids? Oh, that's right, they're up in the organs causing disease. So those protein diets can cause constipation for that reason. They're also very unhealthy for your body and over time create more acidity, but that's another story. So you will find more information again in Unique Healing 2 on my website at www.uniquehealing.com. As always, if you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can find information there. And I hope that helps. Please do know that again at the end of this program, you will have great elimination. It will take a while before you can stop the bentonite and have your bowels do just as well off of it as on it, because your bowel is your last organ to heal when you're healing your body. So be patient with it and know that one day you will get there, and be thrilled to know that in the meantime, you've got a way to get your bowels to go every day, and again, a way unlike a laxative that is productively, cumulatively healing you along the way. So I hope that helps.